Hey guys, I'm Greg. Welcome to Greg's Beer Reviews. Appreciate everybody stopping by. Let's go see what's in the fridge today. Hello everybody, thanks for stopping by Greg's Beer Reviews today. I appreciate everybody stopping by and taking their time to check me out today. This is Beer Camp Imperial Red Ale. This is 2012. This is Beer Camp number 65. Guys, and this is, I thought it was on here, this is a 8% beer. So guys, it's pretty potent. The Sierra Neva's out of Chico, California. American Amber / Red Ale. Like I said, 8%. Rotating schedule. I don't think that's true. They did this beer once in the beer camp. That's why it has a number on it. The food pairings for this, the cheeses are the sharp, blue, and cheddar. The meat is beef, poultry, and fish. The glassware is pint, Becker Stein, the mug, the side ale. I got the pint glass for this one today, guys. A lot of times when you get up to 8%, I'll have the sniffer, but I decided to do the pint on this one today. And the beer is not recommended for extended cellaring, but there's a fine line there. A lot of these Imperials, and especially the Red Ales, will tend to have be hop forward. And if it is, you don't want to cellar the beer because the hop will fade over time. So, that being said, let's see if it's hoppy or not. Into the glass we go. Let's see if we can get a little bit of an aggressive pour on the back end there and watch that head come up to the top. Over into the light, guys. It pours a very carbonated beer. Of course you can see that from the head, but there are a lot of bubbles streaming up to the bottom of the beer. Especially with that aggressive pour on the back end there. Guys, we got a good 2-finger head there, maybe just a tad more. Looks very good in the glass. Definitely in the reddish amber color. Very clear. I can see the light through it on the other side there. So, looks good in the glass. Looks like a typical red ale. Let's get a nose on it. This does have a nice hot presence to it. So, and this is definitely, I don't think it's fresh out of the case. I think these beers have been out for a month or so, maybe even more longer than that, I'm not sure. But it smells pretty good. It's got a nice citrusy, piney. And I'm getting some caramel malt and stuff around, a little roasty malt on there too. It's got a very good smell. Actually, it's a little stronger and a little bit better than I thought it was going to get since these have been out for a while. Very nice smell. Good nose for a red ale. I would not cellar this beer at all, even though it's 8%. You will lose this hoppiness, and like I said, it's probably faded a little bit already. So, cheers, guys. Let's give it a taste. Definitely a strong hop presence to this beer, so it is definitely hop forward. Do not cellar it. You will lose that. Wow, that has definitely got a heavy hop, citrusy, pineapple, piney presence. That is very nice. If you're a hop head, you will like this. Sweet caramel. This is a very well made beer. This is very balanced. Nice hop presence, a nice malt backbone, roasty caramel toffee taste to match up with it. Blends very well, guys. Kind of impressed with this one. Wow, nice. I like it. We're going to let it warm up straight out of the fridge. That's how I have to taste it, and we'll come back and do the final chug. Stick around, I'll be right back, I swear. Alright guys, I'm back. Got just a little left. Man, this is a very hop forward red ale. a big hop presence in this beer, so I definitely would not sell this beer. It is definitely hop forward. Probably one of the hoppiest red ales I've ever had. Definitely has a serious hop presence, guys. Very tasty to me. Being a hop head myself, I really like that. Look at the lacing that's left on the glass there. It's an awesome beer. It really is. It is hop forward. Just remember, that's the key of this beer. You wouldn't want to save this beer. You would want to drink it. So that's what we're going to do here. Final chug, guys. Wow. That is very, very tasty. It almost tastes like they dry hopped this. I don't have any information on whether they did or not, but it is definitely hop forward, and I like it. So with that being said, guys, it's got everything I'm looking for in a red ale. It's got the maltiness, it's got the toffee and the caramel, but it's also got that hop presence, that hop forward presence. It's very nice. Grapefruit, piney, a little citrusy. It's tasty, guys. So and it's got the code on the back. I'm not a big fan of the codes on the beers, even though it's on the website and it tells you how to figure that out. It's not rocket science, but it's just not every consumer is not going to know that code. If you walk in there and you've been drinking Budweiser or Coors or Miller all your life, and you say, "Well, I want to try something different." Well, let's try this one. How old is the beer? And they see that code, and they're going to say, I don't know what that means. That's like a barcode. It's Greek to me. Set it back up on the shelf because you don't know, and it may have been fresh the day before. So the connoisseurs will eventually figure out, or the people that's interested in this type of beer, and if they're drinking that exclusively, they'll figure out the code on that beer so they'll know. But me doing different stuff every day, I'm just not going to take the time to learn it or to tell you what that code means. I'm old school on this. I'm sticking to my guns. 2 days for the day, 2 days for the month, and either 2 or 4 for the year. That's all we need. Nothing else, guys. Like I said, I'm going to give this, it was damn tasty. I'm going to give it an 8. It's an A- in there. If it had a regular date code on it, I'd probably give it a 9 out of 10. It's pretty damn awesome. Rate Beer has 94 overall for this beer and 70 in the style. So they weren't too hip on the style. And that's probably because it was so hop forward. It really doesn't fit a standard amber / red ale style because it's so hoppy, but I like that. So if I was grading on style, I'd probably cut the marks down a little bit because it's definitely hop forward where most of them are not. But I like that. And Beer Addict comes up with an 86, which is in their good range. So pretty good marks from these guys. If you see this beer, it's in the, I think it's in that guy's telling me. I didn't buy it in the mixed pack. I think it's something mixed pack, hop variety pack. So I bought one of each of them just to check them out, and this is definitely a keeper, guys. So leave comments back on this. If you've had this one, let me know what you think on this one. As always, rate, comment, subscribe, and hit that like button if you like it, and let's look in the fridge tomorrow. Let's do it together. See y'all then.